Okay.
We are live. So, what do you think
Gridiron
about this?
Dreams Season 3.
Yeah, it's preview time. This is what everybody's been asking for, I think, is highlights. So, we'll give people a second here. I've got the league file up, and we'll just go, probably just pick it up and go platinum, steel, copper, gold, go right down the line, team by
Yeah, let's.
team, and try not to miss anybody. And we'll tab at all the positions, and you and I can just shoot from the hip like we normally do.
Yeah,
Um,
remember, don't miss anyone. Last week at the baseball, we skipped
I'm
someone
gonna
just
try.
barely.
I'm gonna try. We'll monitor chat, make sure we don't do anything crazy. But season three is a good.
Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna be an interesting one.
Well, let's start with this is our third season, isn't it? We had one season. Who was the winner in the first season? Who won the first season?
It was Jeff
Jeff.
Edmonton. You bet.
Jeff and
He's
Edmonton won it.
welcome,
And
Bernie.
Ken,
Bernie's in here.
Hello, Bernie. Can we remember who the opponent was against Edmonton?
Montana. It was Alex Tuesday.
Montana. That's right. Yes, our great friend Alex Tuesday. Welcome, Alex, wherever and whoever you are.
Yes.
What about season 2, Steve?
Season
It was-
two. T-ville and Carlos Yaz wins season two, and
So,
was a great game against Clue's DC
yes, yes.
Patriot team,
That's a classic game for all sorts of reasons.
who we've now have moved to St. Louis, and that's a new theme. So we'll see a couple of the teams here that have some name changes, so we can highlight that. But
All right.
what up, Skeezers? Mike says, hey, first team, Philadelphia
The
Steagles.
Philadelphia Steelers.
Let's take a look at
Let's
this.
have a look.
What's the quarterback room look like? What do you think, MV? You got Brett Favre there, McNabb, and Gary Kubiak.
It's not showing on your screen just yet, so I'm not sure if I'm
Okay.
behind or.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what I'll do? Stand by.
yeah,
For you,
yeah, sure. Yeah. So I don't know if everyone else can see it, but I'm only
you
seeing
can.
Philly on
I'm
your
going to share
YouTube.
my screen so you'll see it instantly. Take a look at the screen on Discord
Discord.
in our now showing room. That'll give you like within a second delay.
Okay. Uh, okay. Yes, I can see it now.
What do you think?
But on YouTube, I'm not sure they can see what we're seeing. But yes, I can see that. Just check on YouTube, because I'm pretty certain that I saw just the only screen, the touch screen. Can everybody see the screens? Yes, they can. All right, let's go, Steve.
Yeah, what do you think here? Not the best season
All
for
right.
any of these quarterbacks.
Well, what we've noticed is some of those 80s and 90s and even 2000s quarterbacks are just not as productive as the quarterbacks of the new generation, so to speak, from 2010 onwards. So although Brett Favre is great, that might not be his best season. Is at age 39? And he's not in the Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, 5,000 yards category. But it's still Brett Favre. It's an old Brett Favre, but he's still
He's
good.
still going to scramble at the end of a game, throw a few interceptions. So that you can count on that.
Yeah, yeah, but the rating's not great, is it? 81.
Now, 22 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. That could be an issue.
Well, I do know that Yoko's in the market for a player I've got, so that player I've got might make a difference.
Or
Yes.
could
So,
that be construed as you're in the market for a player he has?
no, no, he approached me and I had a
Oh,
witness.
okay. That's interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
Take a look at this running back room. Adrian
Wow.
Peterson.
Ooh,
What do you
wow.
think of
Look at
that?
that. I wouldn't mind him.
Adrian
Uh,
Peterson on this team.
just pretty good. As long as you've got a line to run behind, he
Yeah.
should be pretty good.
Dion Lewis.
Westbrook, Garrett
Tony
Brown.
Dorsett now in the league.
Now, I thought that Dorsett. Hold on a second. Yeah, I thought that Dorsett started with the Denver Broncos. That's a 33, 34-year-old Denver Bronco.
He can
Are
make
there
that
other
back.
Broncos on here?
Yes.
No, what I'm saying is, yeah, okay, right, fine. On that team.
Wide receiver core. What do we see?
Yeah,
Jeremy Maclin, Vance Johnson. There's a Bronco.
there's a lot of players with a lot of yardage. No one stands out particularly well. Everyone's on that team.
He is.
Amendola's on that team. The old Bronco Vance Johnson's on that team. Ricky Natil has some speed, but not in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. not going to go too deep with
Offensive
that
line.
quarterback. No, even with the player, it's good, but there are better in the league.
Yeah.
There are much
So
better in the
this
league.
is
So
something
great names,
that's
though.
a no
Yeah,
slash good. Okay.
yeah.
Defensive line here. What do we see? Defensive line.
Again, lots of eights, a couple of eights and a seven. We've seen better. We've seen better. But what is really nice, though, is to see those names. Just the names alone. Is that George Andrew from the Cowboys?
It is.
Robin Cole from the Steelers? I don't know what Cole that is, actually.
You
George,
got Trent Cole, and yeah, I don't have
right.
all the photos done, but here's one George Andre, right?
Great
You got
photos. Look at that
Alan
photo.
Branch right out of Cibola High School in Albuquerque. I should
All
say if it
right.
were Alan Branch.
So it's always good to see the photos with the
So
cards.
we've got some eights. Yeah, and I'm still, my goal is to get through all the teams this year. I'm making some headway. I think your
Mm.
team's all done. Jeff's, mine. There's a few done. We've got a nine, a couple nines. We got Joey Porter here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got Jamie Collins.
If
So,
you click on Joey Porter for a second, I'm
mhm,
not sure everyone sees this. At the bottom right hand corner, not just above where it says rating on the right hand side, average penalties. Because I've noticed with the modern players, they have a lot more penalty ratings than the average player. So
mhm,
that's his average. Some players have got fewer penalties, so
mhm,
it's always good to watch out for that. Mm.
it is. That's a good point. They'll be average plus or minus on whether they're more susceptible or not. How about
Yeah.
defensive backs? What do we see here? It looks like he's going to be have eights across the board in the between safeties and
Mm.
cornerbacks. Do we like that? I don't know if that gets it done in this league.
Not in this league. They're mostly. I mean, there's some good eights there, like Dawkins. I'm trying to see if anything stands out in terms of interceptions. Yeah, just average, really, for this
All
league.
right, it's not. We're not that impressed. Maplewood. This is a team. Um,
Before you go, before you go further to the Bear Pigs, what grade are we giving the Steagles?
I
A C?
I would give them a straight C.
A C. Okay,
All right,
let's move
good.
on.
Good with that. Yeah, C.
Yeah.
Maplewood. Man Bear Pigs. This is a team that I don't know if we're going to change the. Uh, this is going to be like their last year or whatever. I'm not sure I'm going to change that photo on the field because I find it irritates people. So now I'm less inclined to change it. I thought about making them the Maplewood syrups or something, but who knows? Does it really matter at this point? Quarterback room. The great
Now,
the great Peyton Manning.
great Peyton Manning in this league with the Rogers and, like I said, the Rogers and the Brady's and the Breezes. That 4,000 yards, as good as it sounded at the time, isn't going to cut it.
Hmm.
But it's still Peyton Manning. His touchdown ratio is 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's not bad.
Yeah. How about this Tyrod Taylor? Look, 99 rating here as a backup. That's a good pickup with that Bills
Mm,
team.
mm.
2015 Bills team is what came to Maplewood.
All right.
Running back. What do we see here? Who stands out? Let's look at it by yardage. LaShawn McCoy.
Requires a dual threat because he can run and catch out of the backfield. He should be interesting to watch, but not the best durability. He's going to get dinged up for about 4 games. There's 12 games
Yeah,
in that season. Is that Marion Butts?
it is from the San
Wow.
Diego Chargers.
Wow. I
Um,
haven't seen Marion Butts for a long time.
Receivers. Can he do anything with the receivers? Let's take a look at the rating here. He's got well Pierre Garcon, right? In partial action, 10 games only. He's got Dallas Clark. He's but Reggie Wayne and Sammy Watkins.
Reggie Wayne and Sammy Watkins is a good threat. Dallas Clark is going to be interesting out of the backfield
Yeah.
as a tight end. Does
Uh,
Dallas Clark block? I don't think he blocks now.
uh, there's some depth here on this team at all the positions. Richie Incognito at guard, a
It's a
9.
good guy. Yeah.
Jeff Saturday.
What's Incognito's penalty rating? I'll be curious to see.
It'll be average. If you see here, see under penalty, like the minus, this would be a minus and plus
Ah,
is
right.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Plus is good, minus is bad. Is that
Yes,
right? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Dwight Freeney. He's got
Freeney,
some
Freeney, yeah.
sacks here. Mathis.
The thing is, I mean, it's a good team in, say, season one, for example. But because we've drafted so many teams now over 3 years, there are lots of nines and tens around.
And that's letting
You know,
me
I mean,
know that I was doing Hagerstown, and Robert Mathis has to be
mm,
replaced. I'm making a note here, like if we've got some doppelgangers. So that's a
sure,
note I've just
sure,
made to myself here.
sure.
Linebackers, Junior Seau. That's a keeper.
Nice. Yeah.
Not much
Good
else
player.
there.
Not much else. Yeah, not much. Names I recognize. Well, actually, I don't.
I like that.
How do you
I know I
recognize
don't.
that?
How about defensive backs? You got a couple nines back there, McNeil and Harris.
I think something else talked to Bernie about is if you've got a high flying, you're playing against a high flying offense. I reckon on your depth chart, you need at least 7 or 8 cornerback stroke safety because you're going to be in dime quite a lot of the time, nickel and dime. So you better have at least 5/8 as a minimum. So what's 5/8? 40 points going across the board. Maybe even 44 points in your defensive
Do you see
second. In
something
your
that
second.
stands out here with McNeil and Harris? Look, 9 and 7 interceptions and 2 and 3 touchdowns returned. Will this come into play?
Well, what I like about the defensive backs, McNeil and Harris, is that Cliff Harris?
It is not. I have Cliff Harris. You're going
Which
to
Harris
see
is that?
Dick Harris from the Chargers
Dick
back in the
Harris.
Dick Harris back in the AFL Chargers, and the safety
All
McNeil
right.
is Charlie McNeil from that same team,
All
1961.
right. It's
Pictures forthcoming.
interesting because they play against the run pretty well.
It is. And yeah,
Yeah.
you'd expect that pass rating higher with all those interceptions, but who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
No, no.
I,
Another C.
yeah. See, Montana. Here's a team that was outstanding in the first year, loses to Edmonton in the Super Bowl. Last year, they're a play. They win that division again. Can they win this division a third time? I think they can.
This is a Pittsburgh-based team, isn't it? Yes.
You got the,
Roethlisberger, not his best season, though.
but look at Palmer. Palmer will probably get the
Yeah.
start at a 104 rating this year with more yards.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's running this team?
Alex
Arnie.
Tuesday,
I think that makes.
who's been AWOL.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from him, so this could be one of those league teams that evaporates into thin air next year.
Fair enough.
How about Chris Warren from the Seahawk days?
I don't remember him. That's good, but then the average is not the greatest. He STY, so it's what's that short yardage.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody there to punch it over the goal line. However, it doesn't get much penalties against keying. It's not keyed against heavily. Out of the backfield, though, what stands out to me is Johnson. Is that a Miami Johnson? D
That is
Johnson.
David Johnson from the Cardinals.
He's going to be dangerous out the backfield. He's going to be dangerous. So that's going to be interesting.
Receivers. This would be a
Heinz
good team.
Ward,
Think about the Jets. There's some 1961 Jets in here with Art Powell, right?
ETS, Jets. Yes.
Heinz Ward's there.
Heinz,
Another
yeah.
guy that's in the league now from those old Jets, Don Maynard.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, he's got some interesting people on this team. Offensive line, what do we think? There's a 9.
Um, there's a good night in there, Michelle. No, it's not gonna. It's not gonna work.
No,
Pouncey's there, but it's
now
not gonna work.
defensive line. Now Cortez Kennedy's a beast in here.
But not much else. I don't see this team going far.
I'm just wondering why Cortez Kennedy doesn't have a. I
Plus,
guess we don't have a photo for him in here. Who knew? We'll have to get that. We'll have to get that in the game. Yeah, it's pretty much Cortez Kennedy. Any linebackers? Oh, this gentleman. Is that James Harrison? It is from Pittsburgh.
yeah,
That's a good one.
he's a good one. I remember playing with season one and literally coming off the screen. I felt like I was playing that game. He must have sacked Breeze 6 times in one game.
This is
Killed me.
probably his strength, right? Look at this. He's also got Lamar Woodley, a 9. He's got Larry Grantham from the Jets.
9.
10, 9, and
9.
9. 9. And this is his strength right here. except for maybe an extra one, right? He's got a
who's that Peterson? It's not Patrick
Patrick
Peterson. Oh, he
Peterson
is.
from Arizona.
All right, he's good. Polamalu, I'd love to have Polamalu. That's a good secondary. Is it deep enough to withstand Bernie's air raid offense?
Is
Do you
it
know
going
what
to
I
be?
mean?
Is
Or
it going to?
you're
Is it going to be Air Bernie this year with this team?
Air Brady,
Like Air Coryell?
Air,
We'll get
Air
over him.
Strom, Air Brady. I
How
like.
about this? How about the kicking game?
I've never really been good at kicking evaluations, to be honest,
All
but
right.
that doesn't look too bad.
All right. What do we give that one? I'm going to give him a B.
I like the defense. You got the Pittsburgh boys in there. That's a good and that Patrick Peterson as well. That's a good defense. Give me Palomar and Harrison all day long. Even Heinz Ward, I'd take him to
Yeah. I'm going to go
any day.
B. I still think this is, they're going to compete to win a third division title in the Platinum. That's what I think.
Well, in that division, I think they stand a good chance of winning their division. For sure, no disrespect to anybody in the division. Actually, you know what I really mean. Okay,
Yeah, I know what you really
now,
mean. It's a down division.
is,
Hagerstown in here. This is a Hagerstown team that I've assembled.
is he collecting quarterbacks?
Well, you know,
Now, haven't we seen Manny before? We see. Oh, that's the other Manny. It's
it's
two Mannys.
it's
I keep
this one's
forgetting.
going to be Eli. Yep.
That's Eli. Eli, man, Dan Marino. I mean, look at this. Imagine we frown at Dan Marino in this league. And that's not even an old Marino. That's a peak Marino. There he is. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm a little bit
Hey,
late. I
That's fine.
apologize.
Let's just chip in because I'll have to disappear in
if
about
anybody
7
needs a
minutes. But I
quarterback,
will.
this could be an ideal trade partner. This guy's got a lot of,
Yeah, Jeff. I think Jeff is might need one. I think.
but he's keeping Marino going
Is
back, and you got to have some quarterbacks around him when Marino has an off year.
Rivers a Hall of Famer? Do you think?
He's got Rivers and Eli Manning, so he's in very good shape. And plus Esiason, so he's
Yeah,
certainly some trade bait that can help his roster in other areas that
100%.
perhaps some
Wayne
areas needs to
doesn't
patch
tend
up.
to be active with trading, but let's see.
These are some good running.
Yeah,
He added Icky Woods and James Brooks to this team that has Rice and Tomlinson. So he's got a strong running back group.
he's got them out of the backfield on third down, Rice and Vereen. They're
Oh
pretty
yeah, look
good
at this
too.
catching
Brooks
the
is another
ball.
ball. All of them actually, Tomlinson, Brooks. In fact, there's more trade bait here again, and these are all good running backs.
How about this? Odell Beckham Jr.
Hmm. He's going to be pretty good.
Look, Eddie Brown. Remember Eddie Brown from those Bengals teams
Eddie
that they
Brown for
ascended?
the Bengals, right? He was a
Down,
he's a good
down,
player.
And Antonio
down Saturday Brown.
Gates.
Gates was a legend. He was
Yeah.
initially a college basketball player
Yep.
before he got into football.
They also got Bolden, Antoine Bolden, Keenan McCardell,
Keenan McCardle, a good pro again, another good
Rodney
player.
Holman. They're all good.
Only 3 drops.
That's pretty good.
Mason was a Derek Mason, another very good player with
No
Mm.
one's worth going
the Ravens.
backwards. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, he's set at receiver and tight end for a while.
one of the steals of the draft,
Uh,
the 88 Bengal team is getting Anthony Munoz and Max Montoya as a tackling guard
Yeah,
going back, and
oh
getting
yeah,
several great years out of them.
yeah,
Richmond Webb. Richmond Webb, is that right? Richmond
That
Webb.
is Richmond Webb.
Wow. Let's see the Munoz photo, Steve. Let's see some of the artwork. See what you've been busy doing. Anthony Munoz. I don't see him. Picture for him.
Oh no, I haven't been
Oh, you
doing
haven't
that
done it
much
yet.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Maybe.
53 players times 20 teams. That's 1,000 plus
Easy work.
photos. Defense, not bad, huh? Got us here.
The
Um,
middle, you're gonna have to run around the sides of this team.
yeah,
Are
Tim
they
Crumry.
playing a 3-4?
yeah. Jim Crumry, very good player.
Mm.
He's only age 28, so he has him for a while, and then
Well, Crummer got
Armstead.
injured though. Crumwright got injured after this season, so he's done. He's a one and done, if I'm right.
Oh, is he?
I don't
Yeah, he will
remember.
never be a 10 again because he broke his leg or in the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
and he was never the same after that. Yep, I remember.
Jesse
Linebackers.
Armstead, an outside linebacker.
This isn't bad. You got
Um,
Ray Lewis, a 9 inside. You got Armstead on the out, and then Suggs and Phillips that can come in. That he's defensively, this is a good team,
A good
mhm.
team
and you
actually
got good O
overall.
line. This actually may be a more solid
Let's
team.
see.
This is a team that could actually knock off Montana from what we've seen so far in this
If
division.
In
Dwayne
the
does a few
testing that I've
trades,
run, yes, definitely. They
yeah.
finished first in a couple of sims I ran and second in others. They're definitely competitive.
Okay.
The question is, will Dwayne trade? Because he's got so much trade bait there.
He does.
He could be a contender.
Yes. How about his
Could
defensive
actually
backs?
win it.
There's nothing bad here. Look, he's got 3 9s and an
Yeah.
8.
Ed Reed.
He
He
could
could
use
use
a
some.
little help at cornerback.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
cornerback, you don't really want to start go into the season starting a seven at corner if you can avoid it. That's an area where, as MV said, he's got those nuggets. He's got an extra couple of QBs there
Hmm.
that he can dangle for a trade. A couple of wide receivers. He would be well served to
Yeah.
trade in one of those areas to get a cornerback if he could.
If
Easier
Dwayne put
said
an
than
hour,
done, but
yeah, if Dwayne put an hour into setting up his trades, this team here, from what we've seen so far, is the best I've seen.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
By a
if he
country mile.
if he acquires a cornerback, he's could be on his way.
He
Two
got Josh
quarterbacks.
Brown. We got Josh Brown and Wing from that 2015 Giant team. So he's serviceable kickers there.
Yep.
Winding.
I'm going to give him a B, maybe even a B. It's
I,
weird. I don't.
I'd be plus.
I,
I think give him the plus for the protection.
yeah.
I'll give him a B. Yep. I'll
Yeah,
give him a B. He's got a solid roster.
he's definitely
Swain
winning that division at the moment.
Pete Steel Hammers. We know this is Joe Murdy's team. He grabbed the 88 Niners.
Joe,
Let's take a look at what he's got. Joe
he's not
Montana's in
winning.
the league. Michael
Well, there
Vick,
we go.
Bobby
Very
Lamb.
nice pickup for him to get Montana for a very long time.
He's going to have to go backwards with him, though, isn't it? Because it's not.
Yes.
This is Kansas City, Montana.
No, this
This is
is
Yes.
post.
this is
Is it?
49er Montana.
Oh,
88.
this is right.
Is it?
He's right. This
He
is the
could take him
88
forward to the
49ers,
best
right?
season ever, 89, or get more years back. So that'll be a decision for Joe for sure.
Yeah.
Look at this
Certainly
little.
another guy with a lot of depth at quarterback, but the two main ones, of course, Montana and Vic, and Montana will be the starter for many, many years if he chooses to go that route.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to pick up a package, but I'll be right back.
This is a
Sure.
good twosome right here. You got Turner running it. Craig can run it and catch 76 balls out of the backfield. So that's a good 1-2 punch. Those two
Yeah,
guys.
Roger Craig, probably the best pass catching running back in the history of football, but until McCaffrey came along, he's just a tremendous out of the backfield catching the ball, 76 catches, no drops.
No. John Henry Johnson, an old timer, and Hoke from that 61 Steeler team. So
Mm-hmm.
some key players.
Yeah,
Buddy
he's
Dial, Des
well, he
Bryant.
doesn't have a lot of running backs. He's got guys with a lot of carries. Craig with over 300, Turner with over 300 carries. So he's solid at running back.
And wide receiver, we've got Antonio Bryant,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, and Randy Moss.
But it's a shame about Brian. He could have had a really great career, but he had some substance abuse issues that um, kind of cut his career short. He was suspended multiple times, but this year, 83 catches, 15-yard average, very good. Jerry Rice speaks for himself. 20 yards a catch, Steve, for Jerry Rice.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Amazing. Yeah. And also Randy Moss. So a lot of talent there for Joe at the wide receiver spot.
Driver, he's got Ditka at tight end here. Harold
Yeah.
Carmichael on the team. It's got John Taylor. There's a lot of
Hmm.
talent on there. I don't know if he's got the O line to protect these guys though. It's pretty average at best, right? 7 and
Yeah,
8.
his O line is below average, and it's probably going to be a sore spot for him this year. He's going to have to trade to acquire some talent because that O line, with our league being the way it is, with the defensive lines being quite stout for most of the rosters, he's in trouble here. He needs some help, and we'll have to trade with somebody to improve this line.
He's got a couple linemen, Den Herder on the end and Carter from San Francisco there in the middle. Ernie Stautner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Some talent, but this could be a little bit deeper. This could cause him some issues.
It could, just because of the pass rushing prowess of many of the teams in our league. He'll be in trouble on the O line unless he rectifies it.
There's this guy Rieger, who I didn't know much about, is probably his best linebacker here. Joe Fortunato and Bill George in there, but this could be an issue too. So it looks like defensively might be.
Yeah, and not enough pass rush with the linebackers. His top linebacker for sacks is Fortunato, who's got 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, an area that needs to be improved on as well.
We'll see if the DBs could hold up. But now that's probably his best position on defense is defensive back right there. Ronnie Lott on the
Yeah, well, he's
team,
got
Johnny
Ronnie Lott,
Sample.
who an amazing player. Sample, another very good player. Tim McKyer at cornerback, not 7 interceptions. Lavender, 8 interceptions. So, could be a lot as secondary.
I'm going to give him a
Be
C
nice
only
for him to
because,
maybe trade to acquire maybe one more cornerback for nickel and dime packages. He
yeah.
can play some sevens there, but that'll punish him a bit.
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at this. It's like, yeah, I'd probably give him a C too, only because there's certain positions like he's good at, and other ones he's not so good at. I think it just averages out.
Mm-hmm.
And if I look at
Yeah,
these, I know
yeah,
MV's,
I'd give him a C as well.
so I think are the top of that. And if I had to bet money, I would have to lean towards Montana because it just seems like they always find a way to win that division.
They
I don't know.
do. I would say Montana with Hagerstown right behind them, fighting for that division. Next, will we move down to here next?
We're gonna pop.
Montana.
We're gonna pop over to. Oh, we already did them. So we've done
Oh,
all
did
5
you?
of
Oh, I
these.
got in here late. Okay.
So now we're gonna go over and do a fan favorite. Well, a fan of one. This is Manchester, who.
My timing. I'm back.
Okay, let's take a look here. We said, what was our prediction for NFC Platinum? Who would win it? I said it's coming down to Montana and
Hagerstown?
Hagerstown, and you're going to pick Hagerstown. I would pick Montana only because they've seemed to pull that division title off.
Yes,
All right.
I
All right.
agree. And Dwayne is going to have to make a trade or two to improve the roster a little bit. And he does have areas of strength at QB and wide
All right.
receiver
Yeah.
where he can make those trades that perhaps can put him over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we
is
move on to Manchester. MV's team.
MV. You've
The
got some
Red
great
Bulls.
insight. You can talk to us about how this team was assembled, and then we can
Oh,
critique it to all hell. But Drew Brees seems like your big guy right here, and you got Len Dawson for the future.
well, I have to pick a quarterback's going to last me all season, so Breeze is there. He's been there for third season with the powerful Red Bulls. All right. We're going for a third winning season with a bit of self promotion first.
Well, one of
Right.
Breeze's off seasons, in a sense, not off
No,
meaning bad. I mean, 96
no.
quarterback
Yeah,
rating's very good.
you're actually right. This is actually his worst season since his
Yeah.
second year in the league. It's 34, so he goes all the way up to 2022. And this is him in 2014. So he's got some
Mhm.
great years to come. So I'm sorry there. The Foles pick was a pick because I think Yoko saw me picking and quite liked Foles. So I said I'll pick him so I could trade him. And Dawson was just a pick, just a throwaway pick, really, to be honest, because he'll be good for trade bait, though. but only
Yeah.
for someone who's building long term, not
Yeah.
for me. But
Uh,
I'm solid. I've probably got one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
uh,
Uh, Running back, Davis, Terrell Davis, played well last season on a 14-2 team,
mm,
should be well.
yeah.
Gurley's the backup. Mitchell is going to be great long term. He's a keeper. And Austin is the secret weapon. Well, it's not
This
secret.
should be your secret weapon right here. This guy
Yeah, Austin. Bobby Mitchell, I think, is really good. So it's a toss up between him and Austin, but I really like Austin. He
out of the
catches and
Yeah,
backfield, you could
right.
send him out wide out of the backfield. This guy.
Mm-hmm. MV,
run.
you could put Austin in at running back at
Yeah,
third downs and have
that's what I've
him
done. Yeah, I
run
like
the
him.
football. Yeah.
I really like Austin. He every time I've done a sim, he's been lights out. Even our game,
Mm-hmm.
Steve. The other day when we ran a little tester sim, a game, I should say, he was the predominant figure. He also played Bernie,
Hmm.
and again he was predominant.
We're
So
gonna have
he
to
seems
figure
to
out how to
stand out.
stop him. Your receiver core, Fitzgerald's leading the way.
As a little weak, not the first three, and certainly not the fourth one, which is the guy I was telling you about, which I don't see his name there, Steve. Where is he? The guy from Cleveland.
Who?
Ray something. Ray. He's not there. His name escapes me, but I'll come back to you in a second. He's not there then. You just not entering, that's all. Because you confirmed him the other day, but it's just not there. But his name is, I'll tell you his name, Ray Renfro.
Ray Renfro. Not
Yeah, Cleveland
familiar.
61. Yeah, he's on the team, but you don't have
But
him on the team.
you have Fitzgerald and Colston as your starters. You're very good at wide receiver, MV. I
Yeah, I
mean,
got I
you've
got
got elite
Colston.
talent there. You got a 9 and
Yeah,
a 7 at wide receiver.
yeah. Ray Renfro's a 9 as well. He's not shown on
Okay.
screen, but he should be there. The
Well,
rest of them are.
he'll be there if he shows
Yeah,
on the
he
roster
does.
that was submitted.
He's there. He's there. He's on the roster of the You just missed him. Which is understandable when you're dealing with thousands of players. Cook is a backup to Hendricks or Kendricks, but Shannon Sharp is main man. I got blockers in there like Harkey. Harkey's like a city. Click on Harkey, Steve. Guy HP Harkey. I think his blocking is one of the best for running backs in terms of fullbacks. So he's going to be a blocking back at short yardage. So I've got all angles covered. All angles covered.
Shannon
Um,
Sharp, great season, 72 catches, no
yeah,
drops. Unfortunately, he can't turn his cell phone off at the right time. But other than that,
yeah, he's good.
he's a very good player.
Yeah, definitely. So that's partly done. So the offense, I'm looking pretty solid.
Oh, I like
Certainly,
your offense.
yeah.
Your offense is good enough.
Yeah.
Let's go to the O line here and take a look.
Mm. Well,
Very strong on the offensive line. Very
and I made
strong.
a mistake. I let Logan Mankins go in an error, which was a
Oh,
real
did you?
stupid error. I did.
Oh, okay.
I left him off my keeper list by mistake.
Mm,
Well, never mind.
mm.
But
What
I drafted
what's he
well, so
rated this year? What's Mankins rated this
I
year for
think he
you?
would have been a 10.
Oh shoot.
Yep.
It's
But hey,
all right.
you got to set a 9 at center, right?
You're still set
A
though.
10 and a guy
Your
that can go
offensive
guard
line
10.
is
Yeah,
Oh,
excellent.
yeah.
you got 9s and 10s there, so you're in good shape.
A couple of 8s to back up.
How about this D line? You picked up Aaron Donald. Pretty much, you went for a pick
Yeah.
solely to get Donald locked up.
Well, 2 reasons I went for Donald. A, he's going to be 10 plus for the rest of his career. He's only 24. The second was the amount of backup stuff I get in the secondary, which you'll see in a minute. I get about 4 number 7s equal in the defensive line. From that team, I get Hayes and Quinn, who are pretty good at sacking.
Boy, you protected a lot of guys up front on your defensive line. You have a
Justin
lot of
Smith was protected. Yeah, he
defensive
was
tackles
protected.
and defensive ends.
There's a lot of good guys there.
There is.
There
And
are.
that's,
Now we're going to see some scary numbers here. These guys.
yeah.
Uh, 11,
Playing a
11,
4-3.
10. That linebacker core with Ham, Mobley, and Lambert is the best
Oh
wide
my,
looking starting
what
linebackers in the
a
league, in my opinion.
Well, Bernie eliminated them all in one go, which is pretty good, impressive. He played 4 wide receivers, so of course I could only play 1 linebacker, so that was interesting. So some of
well,
those
you
guys
have a
didn't play.
wealth of riches at linebacker, sir. My goodness.
And you got
Jack
linebackers
Lambert,
that
Ham,
all have
Mobley.
a 3 pass rating, which is pretty good for a linebacker.
It is.
DB is a little bit of a drop off compared to last year.
Let's take a look.
Woodson and Blank are no longer 10s, but they're 9s.
That'll suffice. That'll be good
Both of
enough.
the 10. Golson's a 10, and I've got McLeod and Wilson as 2 safeties to back up Golson.
This is a
And
good
here-
enough team to at least secure third in the division, at least.
Yeah, this is.
Well,
This,
it's a win
on
the division.
paper, what's this look like, Steve? A third place team? Would you say?
Third?
We'll see. We haven't seen the
Oh,
rest.
sorry.
There's a
Pardon
couple
me,
other
MV.
teams in this division, but
I'm joking, MV. You
I know you are.
have an A+ roster, in my opinion.
and
You have a
he's
very
going
good
with
team.
the timely Lou Groza as his kicker.
Mm.
Now, if you notice here with your team, there's no
Mhm.
Renfro, and we're at 53, and there's no Renfro anywhere on your 31 editions. I just went back and looked through that, so I don't know who this Renfro guy is you speak of.
It's on the keeper list.
No,
He's there.
On
yeah,
your
I'm on the
initial
original keeper list.
Mm-mm. I submitted like everyone else. He's there.
No, I'm looking at it.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it after, but I'm sure he was there.
Oh,
I'm going to go. I'm
Now-
scrolling back up.
field goal kicker, you could acquire one via trade, maybe, MV. I don't know if you want to go into the season with a guy with a 69% field goal percentage.
You know, that's the other thing with Groves. I mean, funny enough, I've tested him out.
look,
He hasn't missed one yet. But
45% over average. He'll probably be good being moved into a more
Oh,
modern
okay.
era.
Okay,
yeah,
and you might be okay then.
yeah. So far, I've tested him out.
Yeah, this is an A+ team, in my opinion. You've got a
Yeah.
wealth of riches throughout the roster.
I'm going to give him an A, maybe an A minus, because O-line
Look at kick
solid.
return. Kick return.
Linebackers are great. DL is going to be solid. This is
The kick
solid.
returning.
Let's take a look at kick returning. Yeah, A minus ish.
Yeah, Mitchell's got a return for a touchdown
I
for
think
you,
this
so you
team
can
is
throw him in there.
goes from an A last year to an A minus this year overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
Differ a
what, Steve?
little
You're
bit
right.
on
You
that
know,
one.
you're right. I must have made a mistake again. He's meant to be there because did it with David. No, you're right. Renfro's not there. I must have mistyped and put Kenny
Now,
Britton instead.
yes, you
My
did.
mistake.
You did.
Mhm.
I did. I remember adding
Yeah, it's my
Kenny
mistake.
there
So I've done
because
it.
I think because we got
I've
rid of
done it again.
Parrish. Remember, we got rid of Parrish that was
Yeah.
unprotected. All right, here's the Lizards. I don't know if you know. Did you see my new field? We had a new field put in
I did see it.
in
It looks
Lehigh
great.
with the reptilian end zone markers and a
Top
new
notch.
logo. But I'm stuck with Brady this year. I've got this Josh McCown is the only good backup I've got, but it's pretty much another Brady year.
I'll tell you what, Steve. You can't. I mean, a 98 quarterback rating will more than suffice. I mean, you'll be able to move the football with ease.
What I like
Still
is
with
the low
Brady.
interception percentage, actually.
Oh yeah, only 1.3%. Only 8 interceptions on the whole season. Very
And
good ratio at 34-8.
and this is another number too. I know, Jeff, you pay attention to this, but their ability to audible and a rating under
Mhm.
pressure does come into play.
Yeah, oh, most definitely it does. It's
This is a weak
a
area
huge
for
get
me.
to have that.
I will admit this is a weak area. Now I have this Tatum Bell who has a great yards per carry, and I've got Crowell who doesn't, and I got Duke Johnson
Mhm.
Jr. who can catch out of the backfield. So this is going to be I'm going to have to come up with some unique.
Well, what you could do, Steve, is on third and longs, you could have Johnson Jr. in at running back catch for passes out of the backfield.
Yes.
You could run Bell for most of the season. He has enough carries to
Yeah.
play first and second down on a regular basis for you. So you should be okay.
It's just
Plus, you have more behind him.
yeah.
So
I've got some
Yeah, you're fine.
possibilities, but it's more kind of a committee approach versus just
Hmm.
a solid number one guy. I feel good about these guys.
The wide receivers, your wide receivers are probably the best in the league, in my estimation. I mean, you have Welker with 118 catches. You have
Mm.
Brandon Marshall, that's probably his best season, right,
Yep,
Steve?
it
102
is.
catches.
And Chris Carter, the other
Then you
one
got
here.
Carter, Chris
Gronk will
Carter,
get hurt
who's
though. Gronk is going to be. I, look at Gronk's block rating for a tight end, 6.4, and but he's going to
my
miss
goodness.
some
Yep,
I don't
games.
think I've ever seen a
that's
tight
pretty
end
good.
have a 6 rating in it for blocking. That's a pass catcher.
Right.
That's pretty darn good.
Mm.
So I do have some
And
backup here with this Barnage guy. They're
Chris
going to have to
Carter,
keep it.
86 catches, no drops. That's a stat that jumps off the page as well. We
O
move
line.
over to the O line here, and again a wealth of riches with that draft pick of the 2015
Mm.
Cleveland Browns. You have Joe Thomas, who's
Window.
the best left tackle of his generation, and you have him
Yep.
for his whole
I
career.
think about 8 or 9 years or more. Yeah.
Yep. And McDaniel's a stud at 10 plus. So is Ringo. You're uh,
Mm.
you're in great shape on the O
Mm.
line. Even your backups are
That's
elite
solid.
players. Like Todd Light's a very good
And I should
offensive
let
lineman as
everybody know
well.
that Todd Light's an 8 this year. Next year at tackle, he's a 10. So if anybody's in search of this, I would love to,
Mm.
entertain
Mm.
an offer for that. Meaning at an area I might be weak, which is linebacker. D line, I spent a whole draft like a draft or so ago loading
Mm.
on Jones and Olsen. So I feel
That's
good about
solid.
this. In fact, will be a backup.
Mm.
Linebackers, this is where I could use some help. This Forrester pick is great at outside linebacker. I got this Al Wilson from Denver inside, but I'm having to play a 7 at the other outside linebacker in
Your
Merriweather and
weakest spot.
Curry. It is. So if anybody out there in the league has an outside linebacker or an inside linebacker for me that would like a tackle that's
I
an 8
do
and
have
a 10 in the future, you can reach out to me.
I do have an extra inside linebacker that maybe I can send your way.
Yeah, because if
I
I
don't
could
know.
bump up inside or especially an outside or whatever, that would be what I'm looking to do.
Right,
Defensive
outside
backs, I feel
predominantly.
okay. I've got one that's an 8 I'm going to have to live with this year,
Hmm.
but Lee is a 10 next year for Minnesota. And
Yeah, that's probably the one area of your team that you'd look to upgrade a little bit if you could.
yeah, outside linebacker and maybe um, a 9 or 10 DB.
Mm.
Kicking, I think I'm going to let Hornig do the kicking because just like MV situation, he's 42% over average.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at your cornerbacks, your secondary here, and see what we have. Champ Bailey, of
Champ Bailey.
course,
Yep.
a tremendous, tremendous asset. Hall of Fame player, 10 rated, of course.
Mm.
I picked up Whittington and Greminger from the 61 Packers. Eddie Metter, I've got going forward. He'll be an 8 or
It's
9. And
Hmm.
this is
it's not your
quick pairs.
strongest. Not your strongest part of your. In fact, your defense has some tens in it, but as units, defensive line is very, very strong. Linebackers is a little weak, but you've got some strength in your secondary. But is it enough depth? I think so. Yeah, you got 6 or 7 players
I'm
that
going to
it can cover.
rely on some of the sack pressure here to help those DBs out. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
I've got some good
You're
between
gonna have to.
Dolman and Jones.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
All right.
Oh, I'd give this roster a solid A. This is a really good
Mm.
team. This is a team that'll compete
Mm.
for first place in the division. It'll be a three-way race again this season with Manchester, Lehigh, and St. Louis
Well, I think.
fighting it out for the division.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if Lexington and Saxonburg yet, but yeah. But I screwed myself by that bloody thing, excuse my language, with the receiver, because actually that's a mistake again. That's a 9 and a 10 I've lost. just due to admin.
Oh my
I need
gosh.
my second. That's my fault then.
Might have
Me,
to fire the GM. We might have to bring somebody else in
Yeah,
to run the
I
Manchester
had
Ball Club.
I had David, the psychic, checking it with me. That
oh
worked.
my gosh. You need a new
Um,
system. Let's do it. Here's Aaron's team, Lexington.
All right, let's take a look.
I don't know if the ratings are great. I mean, they're well-known quarterbacks. Average.
It's an off year for all three of his guys. Warren Moon with an 88 rating, Steve McNair at 82, which is probably one of the lowest of his career, and Bernie Kosar at 84.
Yeah.
It's an area of weakness for the Lexington roster. You really don't want to go into the season without a quarterback that has a rating. You prefer at least have a 90 rating and up as your starter.
but Moon's been pretty good in the league so far, hasn't he? He's been
He
pretty
has.
elite.
I mean, he has been pretty good. Um, Running back positions. Well, he's got Lewis, right?
Mm.
Jamal Lewis is there.
Jamal Lewis
Uh,
is a horse. He um, rarely hurt, runs the ball with a real north and south runner, tough runner.
Fred
Uh,
Taylor's another great back.
Fred Taylor. He's strong at running back, very
mm.
strong. Uh, Fred Taylor will be the starter, of course, due to the 5.4 yards per carry. Not
And
much in the way of receptions, but he's mostly a runner, so that's okay.
Hugh McElhaney, a blast from the past.
Yes.
Mm. Is that Kevin Mack there? I see.
It is Kevin Mack from Cleveland. That was Aaron's number one pick was 88 Cleveland. I think he then came in with 61 Minnesota.
Some heavy
Okay.
duty lifters there, that's for sure.
If you notice, this is a team that had great years for receivers. They've kind of cooled off a bit.
Yeah, he's got Pickens, who's an
Mm.
all-pro at wide receiver.
Givens is a little off year, but he picked up Slaughter and Langhorne from.
Yeah, he could get it done by committee. It's an area that I'm
Mm.
sure he would
He's got a
like to
solid
shore up, maybe.
Ozzie Newsome going backwards uh,
Right.
as the best tight end of the '80s. Well, him and Kellen Winslow.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
O line.
Take a look at the offensive line here. It's an
Mm.
area of strength for Aaron's team is his offensive line.
Munchak and Matthews with the
Munchak at
Oilers are
10.
good. Myers at center. A couple
And
of
Mm.
Bruce
this is a decent.
Matthews played forever. I think he played well into his 40s.
Yes, it did.
So he's set at center at guard for a very long time, and he's got Myers at center, who's a 9. Yep, it's a very good offensive line.
It is.
Uh, Tackle, he could use a little bit of a bump. He'll be starting a 7 at tackle. You can get away with it, but you'd like to have a guy that's at least an 8 in that spot if you had your choice.
Any point you can bump up at any position is always better,
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know here.
Not
Take a look at
strong.
his defensive line. Um,
Not strong. It's not that it's bad, but it's not strong.
yeah, it's an area of weakness. He's got Mario Williams just coming into his career, and who's a 9 and 7 rush rating. Great pass rusher, 12 sacks.
Yeah, Golick,
Mm.
Michael Dean Perry. I mean, yeah. I think this is just right around an average line, which could be a
Very
problem.
average defensive line. Yeah.
Linebacker
Once
core.
again, be starting a 7 at the defensive end spot. You, as you
Oh,
alluded to, Steve, you'd like to always bump those up a point or two if you could. Aaron's not much on trading, so I don't know if that'll happen, but
Well, and
it
no.
I'm
should.
looking at this right now, saying I may need to go back to the final drawing board and get him in some linebackers because I did his a couple days ago, and this is a miss right here.
Well, they all have at least 10 durability, Steve. I know last year I really didn't have that many linebackers either.
Mm.
I think I only had
I'm only
5 on my
I'm
roster,
carrying
and
five
that's
this year.
okay. It's an area
But,
again.
but,
That's an area of need. He's
but
got
that's a real area of need there. That's too little.
But
Yeah,
he does have well, actually,
got
this
Clay
is the son
Matthews.
picture. I'll have to get another abbreviated thing in there, but that's the dad. That's the original Clay Matthews.
Okay.
And
And defensive
that's
backs,
not bad. He's
he's,
got Dixon and Wagner and Minifield, and then,
yep,
Mari Roll. Secondary's not bad.
nope.
Nope.
Minifield's a good player for the Browns and is
But both
fine.
Minifield and Dixon are pretty good.
Yeah.
We've got them for a few seasons yet. They can go backwards really well.
He's good in the secondary.
Mm.
He's got Roll who will be better than an 8 down the line, Samari Roll. If he takes him backwards, he should improve the rating a little bit there.
Is this a C?
McAllister an 8.
I
It's
might
not
say
bad.
C plus.
Yeah, I'd give him a C. He's an
All
average
right.
team.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a guy we all know. Clue.
Mr. 10 Man,
Mr. Wilsonstein.
Mr. Wilson.
All
Big
right,
year from
let's take a look
Rogers.
at Big Team's
That's
team
one of
here.
I think he's one of the top 2 or 3 rated guys going into season 3 with
The
Rogers.
best trade in league history was when Klua acquired Aaron Rodgers. It really solidified his QB spot for 2 decades. Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers was one of the best there was for a long,
that
long
was a
time.
5-gallon container of ice cream that went with that.
Yep,
From
it
Yoko.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And,
there an echo in here? Who's that?
Whatever.
Is that
hold
Mike
on a
Silver?
second. I think I hear the ice cream truck just coming around the corner.
There
Yeah,
it is.
there it is. Okay.
All right. He's got a couple of great runners here with Gale Sayers and Mercury Morris.
Yes, he is set at running back. He's got a couple of studs at running back.
Oh.
Gale Sayers, just a tremendous player. Mercury Morris
One of the
again,
best names ever.
all
Hopalong
pros.
Cassidy.
Yep. Yep.
Receivers.
Well, Clue doesn't have a lot of running backs on the roster. He's got enough. I mean, he's got over 400 carries between his top 2 backs, so he's in very good shape.
He picked up a couple of those the fun bunch receivers, right?
He did. He picked
Monk,
up that
Monk,
Redskins team, which is a really good pick for
Monk
him.
and Sanders.
He's got a possession guy in Gonzalez, and Allworth and Hayes can bust it open at any time. So that's a lot of.
Yep. And look at how few drops he has in his receiving core. He's 96 catches, only 3 drops for Tony Gonzalez. Allworth, 73 catches, no drops. Ricky Sanders, 73 catches, no drops. Both receivers with above average yards per catch at Allworth at 18.9 and Sanders at 15.7. He's in very good shape. Can throw Hayes in there when he wants to run 4 receiver sets again. 64 catches, 19.3 per catch. Very
Pretty
good
good.
shape.
It's a great group right here.
Yep.
O-line.
Move over to the O line here, and it's been Clue's strength since he drafted in season 1. This is a really good group up front again. Hutchinson, a perennial All-Pro, Little an All-Pro, and Peters an All-Pro. Very good. Lots of depth on the
Makes it
O-line
look
for
like he has
Clue.
a lot of low-rated linemen, but a lot of those guys play defensive positions. They're dual.
Mm-hmm. Yes, above
D-line.
average offensive line. Very
Good
good.
line here. He's got Jared Allen, Bob Lilly, Earl Faison, Kevin Williams.
Good pass rush up front. Jared Allen, a very underrated pass rusher,
Underappreciated.
led the
Yeah.
league in sacks multiple years as a pro. Very good player.
Linebackers. He's got a 10 and a 9 inside. He's got Brooks on the outside, and this is Derek Thomas, another guy he's going to have going backwards.
Yep.
That's going to just get in a few years really good. So I mean,
Wired from Edmonton via
yeah,
trade. It was
he's got some
Yeah.
for
players
Brian
now
Urlacher.
and a few that are
Yep.
going to get better.
Very good.
Picked up this Detroit
On-
Lion off that team.
R.I.P. Joe Smith. He died this week.
And
Was it last
gentlemen,
week?
I'm gonna. Unfortunately, I do have. I think I've got an obligation to get through right here. Hold on, let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got a call I'm gonna have to go to. So
Okay.
we might have to do a second show here. Let's look at Saxonburg really quick, and I'll wrap this up within a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll maybe we'll come on here in a little bit and do the other conference.
Yeah, I'll just wrapping up Clue. I'd give him an A plus simply as
Yeah.
secondary. He's got Green
Yep.
who's a 10, Barber who's a 10 at cornerback, Night Train Lane who's a 10. So he's
Oh,
set
I'm
there. It's
sorry.
an A
Yeah,
plus
over here.
Clue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is an A team.
Yeah, we could finish up. We can finish up at another time when.
Yeah. No worries.
I can get there in a minute here, but maybe we'll save
Well, I have a
Saxonburg.
phone call I got to take here too. So.
So we're going to go off the air. We've almost gotten through it. Saxon.